Hey YouTube, welcome back to my channel. Goals. What are your goals in life? Do you have long-term goals or short-term goals? In this video, that's what we're going to talk about today, is goals. So, let's get to it. So, when we do goals and everybody talks about goals, what are goals and why are you setting these goals? A lot of the times we don't set goals because we're too afraid. We don't want to take that leap of faith, or we're just not knowing what direction or where we want to go. So for me, one of my main goals this coming up year was doing photography. So I decided to do photography and just practice on it a lot more and take that leap of faith of achieving my goal to actually being a paid full-time photographer and learning how to be a pro and learning the techniques, and all that takes time and practice. So I've been doing short-term goals. So I've been doing 6 weeks of videos and reading and applying, and everything that I read and apply, I go out and I apply it to myself. So I go out and I'll take pictures of what I just read. So if today I learned composure, I'll go out and I'll figure out how composure is, how it works, and I'll practice. So I'll tell my son, okay, stand right here, and I'll practice that for a few weeks, and then I'll do rule of thirds. I read on that, and what is the rule of thirds? And then everybody was like, why you keep doing this? Because I want to be a better person in my photography. I want to inspire people to think outside the box. So when I take a picture, it tells not just a story, but it tells a story that will last you a very long time, that you can hand to generation, be like, hey, that's kind of cool. So I took a leap of faith and I started with my business cards. People say, oh, you shouldn't hand out business cards, or you shouldn't do your business cards because you're not a professional yet. I have plenty of these and I haven't really handed them out yet. I've only handed them to like my friends and my family members and be like, hey, if you ever want me to take pictures of you and you need a free session, let me know. And I always tell them I am an amateur, and it says right here, but I'm taking that leap of faith and already started viewing myself that direction, instead of letting everybody else tell me, no, you can't do it, no, you can't do it. Because a lot of photographers most of the times will tell you, no, you can't do it. Why? I don't know why. Sometimes it's hard to find that one person who can give you that chance and be like, you know what, you got talent, you should be able to do it. And instead of putting others down, we should inspire ourselves to do better in that sense. So I got my business cards. I always have my camera handy and ready. I'm always ready, like, shoot. And I have everything to go. I learned about my lenses. I studied about, so now I'm just studying the business. Do I need insurance? Do I need to buy pay for my business? So meaning a certificate that says I'm an actual business. Do I need all kinds of things? Because I've read and researched, and a lot of photographers say that live here in the United States, they don't have they have a legit business, but they haven't paid for a business license. They don't have a business license. All they have is just what is it? They have something else, which is something that I was reading up and looking into it, and it's like insurance. And I was like, insurance? And instead of having a business license, they focus more on insurance. But then there's a lot of photographers that tell me, no, you need a license, you need a business license, and you need to be paying for your license, and it's this and it's that and blah blah blah. And she was telling me all this great stuff that I need to have a license. But then when I was doing a lot of research and I was looking at a lot of blogs, looking at a lot of other photographers, like I'm in a group called Photographer for Beginnings, and that was one of the questions that came up. It was like, do I need a business license? And a lot of them surprisingly said no. They were like, here in the UK, they're like, you don't need a business license. And then somebody said, here in the US, you also don't need a business license. What they prefer people to get was insurance. Because with insurance, it made more sense. I'm not saying that I'm not going to get a business license or that I'm just going to get insurance, but that's what they were saying it worked for them, was because of the fact that insurance helps you if you get into legal problem, because some people can get that idea that, oh my God, they can sue you. And I've seen an article. It was in Spain. Sorry, my nose is a little runny. In Spain, they had this couple that took the pictures, and I don't know what had happened. I think the photographer's camera, something happened to the camera, and I just remember that they sued the photographer because they wanted their money back because they didn't get pictures because something had happened to where his camera was damaged, but it wasn't his fault. Something to do with a natural disaster, and it just ripped everything. But they still went and sued. They wanted their money back, and I was just appalled. I was like, wow, like how? Like, so it was an article that I read a long time ago, and I was like, can that be true? And I was talking to other people, and they were like, yeah. They're like, they can sue you for anything and anything if you don't know your laws, your logistics, and all this stuff. So that's why they say they recommend more insurance for yourself, so that you know that you're insured and then you're protected. And I said, that makes perfect sense. Another short-term goal that I've been working in is budgeting my money. So every time I go in and I adjust my income, I see how much I make for this month, and because I get paid on every 2 weeks, but it doesn't always stay consistent. 1 week I'll work 40 hours, the next week I'll work 30 or 29 because they cut hours, and vice versa. And so it's like my money's constantly always changing. It's not always set to 700, 600, or 800. It's never set. So it's hard for me to try to adjust that. So I always have to balance my income. And the best way I started doing is I started a rainy day fund, and I always put at least 4% of my of what I get. So they automatically take it out of my check, and they only show me the amount that I'm receiving, and then they tell me, oh, this amount has been already deducted and put away into your savings. And that's perfect. So learning how to budget my money helps me with everything else. Because my son takes ADHD medication, and I constantly need it about every 2 months or so. So every month, I'm always, okay, he's almost going to run out next month. So I'll start a count, and then I'll set the date. Okay, he should be done by this date. So I need to be mindful. Okay, they cost me generally this amount, and I need to always be prepared to, okay, if I get them this day and I don't have, so I always have to set money aside for that. Then medical expenses, save money aside for that, because you never know when you need to go to the doctor. Like I just did, I have really bad sinus infection. That's why I haven't been uploading as much as I could, because my voice is crackly and I'm always having a runny nose, because here the weather is wacky. We're in March, and our weather is going to be at 83 degrees today. So we're going to be a high 83, and I'm just like, allergies are just off the roof, to where even my own allergy medication is not working. So he told me to take sinus plus allergy medication, and I was just like, oh, okay. But I had to have money to go see him, to go provide from. So it's always learning how to maintain my money and give myself more of. So that was one of my other small goals, is to learn how to budget small so that I can grow big. And what I mean by that is, every time I buy something, I research everything. So I research on this. This is what I just bought. $40. A great price. I really do enjoy it. I love it. I love the quality. And I love what it does. It helps to where I can hear my parents out there working in the backyard and stuff, and my brother-in-law is out there helping my dad build a fence, and I can hear other people talking, but it doesn't, it stops that from coming in my other videos. I don't know if you paid attention. If you slightly listen, you can hear the background noise. And this has eliminated my background noise so much that you just hear me. And that's why I wanted. It was to avoid that background noise so that it just was me talking and not the background noise. Another short-term goal that I have is learning how to meditate, because stress can be another thing. It's what I talked about in my other video, and this is going to wrap up the whole series of how to be a better version of yourself. So if you apply all these things, everybody's different, not everybody's the same way, but me learning how to meditate and being more aware of my surroundings has helped me how to be more at peace. Like the other day, somebody at my work did something and they kind of pushed it off on me, and I was starting to get stressed about it. And one of my coworkers goes, "Don't you remember your video on stress and how you said blah blah blah, practice what you preach?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, you're right." And we're human. Sometimes we forget because we get so caught up in the fear. And then that's something that I'm learning, is to not get caught up in that fear or in that moment and stop thinking negative and just start going, okay, I give it to you, take care of it, and then I'll just start trying to trace my steps of what happened and try to get more of an understanding what's going on with it. And so that we can figure out a way out and start getting a solution of what is it, what happened, you know? And it's helped me clear my name out, and it's just fantastic just taking a breather and just, whether it be praying or whether it be just meditating or whatever it is that you do. Not everybody, I had a friend on Facebook, she posted, "Quit thinking about yourself and comparing yourself to others. We're all in different seasons." And I agree with her. Everybody is different. Sometimes though, you gotta realize that, for instance, if you used to do drugs, you came out of drugs, you can counsel people and tell them your story and stuff of how it helped you grow and how you're no longer in drugs. But I couldn't go counsel somebody who was on drugs because I've never done it. So yes and no. It's like so my goal also, my short-term goal is also to inspire people how to be better, because we live in a society where we all love it when somebody fails. Believe it or not, we laugh at somebody else's failure, but when it comes to your own, you want nobody to laugh at you, and you're just standing there all mad with that attitude, asking people, why are they doing that? But yet you were laughing at that one person over there who just had their problems, and you just seen it unfold, and you thought it. We all do that. We all have inherited sin. We all inherited default, and we all need to understand that we need to just be kind to one another and live in a better society. Another short-term goal that I've been doing too is, I don't have much to give, but being more of the giver. Here in the city of Kern and all over California, the homeless population has grown by a lot. You don't even know how huge the homeless population. And I would start to watch how people were treating the homeless. Some of them are not on drugs, some of them are. You just don't know. So I was watching this lady tell this homeless guy, "You can't come in. You are not paying for food. You can't come in." And all he was asking was for a glass of water. Most restaurants will give you a glass of water for free. And she was like, "I'll bring it out to you. Stay out there." And it was raining and it was cold. And that bothered me. So he wasn't asking people for money. He was asking people, "Hey, can I just have a taco? whatever your leftovers are, I'll take them. He's all, or if you can buy me a taco, that's fine. And so I had bought something, and I said, I'm not going to take it home and finish it because I'll forget about it. So I went and I gave it to him. And every time I have food or something in my car and I see a homeless person, I just roll in my window. Instead of giving them money, I go, here, I'm not going to give you money, but I have a water bottle, I have an orange, or I'll have a sandwich. And I go, you can have my lunch. I'll figure out how to eat lunch later, or vice versa. You know, because they don't know how they're going to get their next meal. So I'd rather just give them my lunch, and then I'll figure out later how I'm going to get my lunch. Because A, I have a job. A, they don't. And sometimes people sit there and go, they need to go get a job. Why don't they just go get a job? Well, a lot of the time, something is sending them back. We live in a society when a lot of companies don't believe in second chances. A lot of people have records, or not that they don't have, or they just don't have the proper education, whether they finish high school or they've lived, I know somebody that's lived a harsh life her whole entire life. Both of her parents were addicts. They both abandoned her when she was, I think, 9. She's lived on her own since she was 9. She had nobody to take care of her till her grandma finally stepped in. But it took a long time. After her grandma took her in, her grandma passed away. Not that long after. And she had to work since she was 14. She didn't have the ability to go to school because either you eat or you go to school. And she had to figure out how to pay the rent. She had to figure out how to sustain where she lived. And she had to grow up so fast. At the age of 14, it was just like, since she was 9, she had to figure out how to grow up. So she started pushing herself to not be her parents and not be like them. And she would constantly try to figure out how to go to school. And then she would do online work at school. And then she found this lady who gave her a job cleaning houses. And she would start cleaning people's houses. And she made pretty good money. So now that's what she does. She has her own business. She cleans houses. And she's really good at it. And she manages her business. She went to school with me at college to learn. And she took business administration classes. She got an AS degree. She graduated. And she just learns the business aspect of how to get her business to grow. How to manage her business. So that's why she took those classes. Is so that she can prepare herself for her business to be better. And that's what I mean by short-term goals. You see yourself in the longer version of succeeding instead of making these long-term goals that you're never going to succeed if you don't apply yourself to it. I'm not saying that long-term goals are bad. I'm just saying that if you're the type of person that says, yeah, and then all of a sudden you're like, it's like people who make New Year's resolutions. I see it all the time. I'm going to lose weight. And they go to the gym just one time, and then they come home, they're like, that's it. And then they end up just paying away, wasting their money. They pay for gym memberships that they don't even go and never go. You see just them spending hundreds of dollars at the gym, and they don't even go. So I always tell people, start out with something short and small that you know you can achieve, so you can learn how to set goals, so that later you can set longer goals that will help you achieve your greatness to whatever it is that you want to do. So those are my goals. So that's just a general idea how to set goals, is write them down. And 6 days from now, if you want to do it that short. So what I do, is I write down, in 6 weeks from now, I want to start doing, like, I had a short-term goal of doing YouTube videos, because my friend was like telling me how influential her sister does it, and her sister's already on YouTube, and she makes all this money on YouTube. And I was like, well, that's not why I want to do it. I was telling her I want to do it because I want to influence other people to be greater, and hopefully my struggles will help somebody else be something better. So I was like, and I want to get out of my shell. I'm shy and I'm quiet to people that I don't know. So, and I wanted to improve on myself, and I wanted to show my son, hey, you can do anything you want to as long as you apply your mind to it. So I figured, why not use my voice and apply that, you know? So I'm hoping you guys are finding these very beneficial. And if you guys are, comment below, let me know, because I cannot express how much I love to be able to help everybody else, because I've always been that person. My mom tells me, you always put everybody else before your needs, and it's okay, because I tell her that's my gift. If I'm able to help somebody else, that is where I shine the most. That's where God needs me to be at, and that's where I'll be. So if you guys like these videos and you guys want to see more videos like this, don't forget to hit the notification button. Don't forget the like button. And I hope you guys are having a fantastic day. Sorry. And if you went out yesterday and voted, great job. But if you didn't, how do you expect change to happen if you didn't vote? That's another short thing I want to talk about. Is I hope you guys went out and voted, and I hope you guys get the candidate that you guys would want to win. I'm not gonna go into political stuff, but I do hope you guys voted and made yourself that change and impact, because you can't change it if you don't put your vote into it. So I hope you guys have a great night. Bye.